be beaming, I be booming down that block. Everywhere you go, you know they know I'm hot. I be beaming.
What's up? What's going on, my good people? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you all are doing well. If this is your first time here, I want to welcome you. Pull up a seat. Hope you enjoyed the content. And before we get into this video, I want to ask that you like, comment, share, subscribe. Go ahead and tap that bell while you're at it, so you're notified anytime I drop a brand new video, go live, or schedule a premiere. All right, y'all. So today I'm eating some homemade meatballs. I also made some homemade alfredo sauce. I got some veggies and I got some cauliflower rice. So this is a pretty light meal. You know, pretty straightforward. Nothing too fancy. So I drizzled some alfredo sauce on top of the meatball. I want some more cheese though. Some more sauce. So let me give y'all the first bite. Ooh. I use turkey and I love it. It's not dry. It's not dry at all. Low key, y'all, I decided to do like keto this week. I like keto, but I don't like doing it for long periods of time. So I decided I was gonna kind of do a little keto this week. It's basically low carb, high fat, protein. These meatballs came out good. I hadn't tasted them yet. I cooked them earlier today. I did a meal prep earlier today. This video is coming out, I think, on like a Tuesday, but it's Sunday. So, trying to start the week off strong, y'all. This is good. This may not look that exciting. It might not look like much, but it's good though. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That alfredo was good. Turned out really good. So y'all, yes, because it's Sunday, I went out with my friend Mona yesterday, and what I realized is that since I've been like on this 90-day like journey, I haven't really gotten dressed and went anywhere. Like when I've gone out the house, I kind of just have on sweats or something that I'm working out in. You know what I mean? Like I haven't really gotten dressed. So when I got dressed, my clothes felt different, which is always nice, right? And I saw my friend Mona, and Mona was at my birthday celebration this year, and we were leaving the restaurant, and she was like, "Rhonda, you lost weight." She's like, "I could tell," because we was like, I was telling her like I was on my journey and stuff like that. But then we walked to the car, and she was like, I was in front of her, and she was like, "I can tell you lost weight since since your birthday." So it made me feel really good. But I also just realized I haven't really been out like that, so where I needed to be dressed and clothes to really feel the difference. You know what I'm saying? Because your clothes will always tell you everything. So I felt good about that. So that's why I was like, you know what? I'm motivated. I want to start this week off strong. I went to the gym today, did my meal prep. Because when I don't meal prep, it's so much potential to just mess up, you know what I'm saying? So this is something I'll be eating this week. Very simple. Because I don't want to be in the kitchen all day, you know what I'm saying? So you know what I thought about, y'all? The other day I was watching Steph and Tasha's video. And Steph had asked Tasha a question about, like, back in the day, how it was when we had to describe ourselves to other people, right? I mean, this was a long time ago because we've had phones for a long time that could take pictures and you can tell somebody and show them immediately what you look like. But I'm talking back in the day, like 20 years ago, you know what I'm saying? And 20 years ago, I was on a party line, and her asking that question took me right back to that time of being on the party line. All we could do was describe ourselves. You know what I'm saying? All you had was somebody's voice and their word and their description. That's it. That's all you had. Y'all, I cannot tell you how many people I wanted to drive by the time I pulled up on them to go meet them. Oh my God. Like, if people never looked anything like the way they described themselves. Like, it was so many things people were omitting. I'm like, you said you was 5'7". Like, why would you lie about your height? You're not 5'7", you like 5'3". You know what I'm saying? People will lie about so much stuff, y'all. And it was just crazy. And then I remember on the party line too, like, once people saw you, they would get on the party line and talk about you. So they would broadcast it to everybody that was on the party line, like, oh, I saw so-and-so. She don't look nothing like the way she be describing herself or whatever. Or so-and-so look good or so-and-so don't. Like, the party line was a mess, y'all. I used to live for the party line. I've told a ton of story times about that. Just that was a big part of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was getting into life in terms of like me being who I was and coming into myself, like being into women, the party line, you know, allowed me to connect to people that were just like me. And like I said, we would be on that phone describing the hell out of ourselves, you know? And I'm not gonna lie, when somebody will be like, what do you look like? It was really hard for me to be like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I didn't even know what, you know what I'm saying? Like, I struggled with that. I had a hard time trying to describe myself. So thank God we ain't gotta do it no more. You know, we don't have to do it anymore. You can send somebody a picture. You have social media. It's a lot easier. Now, what I will say is that even though we have pictures now, what you hope for is that the pictures aren't outdated. You know what I'm saying? Because I've definitely seen people, a couple of my friends have struggled with that, had issues where they've been talking to somebody, met them on an app, and the person's been posting pictures that are like 5 years old, 7 years old. So the person looks much older, they look way different. And I'm like, that's crazy. So that's the one thing, obviously. And then, of course, you hope that the person is posting their pictures. But that just really boils down to, let's get on the Zoom, let's get on FaceTime, let's do something. Let me see you, let me lay my eyes on you, you know? So yeah, man, that took me back when she asked that. I should have put way more sauce in here. Y'all, and I made a gang of sauce too. I don't know why I just warmed up a little bit. Just a little small amount. That's fine, I'm getting full anyway. I've been eating less food and my stomach is shrinking, so I don't eat nearly as much as I used to, but this is perfect. Just all I need. I got a really good viewer topic, y'all, that I would love for y'all to chime in on a couple things before I get into the topic. People have asked me about merch. So there's merch right below the video. You can go through Teespring. It'll have like stuff that pops up right underneath the video. This is one of the items. This hat said, it says good people live forever. I love the logo. I love that there's a halo. You guys can't see that, but it's a halo right by under good. So, you know, I call y'all my GP fam, good people. So good people live forever. You can get hoodies. You can get t-shirts, a mug, this hat. And then also to be good to yourself, there's some hoodies, mugs as well in my store. So go ahead and check out the link right below this video. Like I said, it'll pop right up on its own. It populates and you can click on it and look around to see if you see something for yourself. All right. So, excuse me, there's that. And as I've been mentioning, the podcast relaunched, Rhonda's Rehab. I will have an episode coming out tomorrow. So when this comes out on Tuesday, I will have an episode coming out on Wednesday. All right, it'll be out at 5 a.m. Pacific time and 8 a.m. Eastern time. So I'll put the links below for you to check it out on Spotify or on Apple. All right. All right. This message came from somebody from the GP fam. Her name is Regina. She was fine with me using her name. And She said she wanted me to read this to y'all. You know what I'm saying? She needs some advice, okay? So her message says, Rhonda, with a bunch of A's, okay? Bunch of A's. She said, where do I even begin? This has been heavy on my heart and I don't know what to do. I've been lying to my fiance our entire 5-year relationship. I don't know if I should come clean or not, but it's effing with my conscience. I've been a stripper for the last 8 years. When I met my fiance, I led him to believe that I was an engineer at a healthcare company. This isn't a total lie. I do have an engineering degree, but I never left dancing to pursue the profession. He believes that I work a night shift with strict rules that I can't have any calls or any visitors. I dance in the next city over and have always worn costumes or outfits that cover my face. This is my signature thing. Do I keep doing this or tell him the truth before we walk down the aisle? Our wedding is in July 2023. I don't mind you sharing this on the channel because I'm open to as much input as I can get. And then she put her name, Regina. So y'all, I have so many questions. Let me start by saying this. The questions I have it's not related to you being a stripper. I've dated a stripper before, and I'm actually gonna talk about a little bit of my experience that I had, because I also was I was lied to about the girl that I was with at the time, about her being a stripper or something like that. Not something like that, but I'll tell you about that in a second. Okay, so my question is, okay, so if you haven't told him the truth, okay, you led him to believe you work at a healthcare company, you work a night shift, but if you have costumes and stuff like that, where do you keep them? Are you getting them sent to a different location, to your mom's house, your best friend's house? Because I'm assuming this stuff is not at your house. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that he would be tipped off that you're a stripper, because there are certain things that strippers have, certain things they wear, and I just know that from my own personal experience, y'all. I was around it, was in it, and all the girls had a lot of stuff in common in terms of the things they would have. So I'm curious, where do you keep that? And so you never talk to him while you're at work? Do you ever check in and make phone calls or text him? Or do you just go to work and then he just sees you, the next time he sees you is when you're back home? I don't know, I'm just curious. And why do you feel like you couldn't be honest with him? Why do you feel like it? You know what I mean? If you guys have been together 5 years, I'm sure you've seen things about him that would lead you to believe that he'd be understanding, or will be okay with you stripping or whatever. So, what is it? Are you uncomfortable just disclosing that you're a stripper? Do you feel like you're going to be met with judgment? You won't be supported? You'll be asked to stop dancing? I just have questions. I just have so many questions. I do. And I ain't trying to be all in y'all business, but I'm just okay, do you have healthcare coverage through his company, or does he think that you have it through your company? And if he thinks that you're working at a healthcare company and you have a special type of coverage, are you just paying all this money out of pocket? I just have so many questions. And Regina, you don't have to answer all of that, but I'm saying my mind is just running wild around. I'm just thinking about so many things and how hard you have to go to keep this lie up. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm assuming you also have to have your friends or family have to be on board with this. You know what I'm saying? So that they don't slip up and say anything when everybody is around, or when you guys are with family, or they're at your house. You know what I mean? This is a big lie to hold on to, so I can't imagine what it takes to keep up with it. But I can see why it's messing with you. You're about to go to the next level in your relationship and you haven't been honest, and if you were to tell him, who knows, this man might end everything. You might lose your relationship because of it, rightfully so. Because 5 years of just, so you were lying during the dating phase, lying, when you guys maybe were exclusive, lying while y'all been together now, and you're going to continue that lie into marriage. I think you should come clean and just be ready to accept whatever comes with the territory at that point. Who knows? Maybe he loves you deeply enough to get past this. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's a way to work on it. But if you do tell him before you guys get married and he's willing to not end the relationship, I think you should definitely expect for maybe the marriage not to happen just yet. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the trust has been violated. The trust has been completely broken. You have, that's just, I don't know. Again, it has nothing to do with you being a stripper. It's just the fact that you're lying to him. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is too, I get that you said you wear costumes and stuff, but are you sure that he's, are you sure that he's doesn't know? What if he's just sitting around waiting for you to tell him? You know what I mean? Because what if friends and family, or his friends and family, have seen you at the strip club. You know, I don't know if you have certain tattoos. I don't know if your whole face is covered or part of it is covered, but what if other people have seen you, they told him, and he is literally just sitting around waiting for you to come to him and be open about the fact that you strip? So I don't know, y'all. So many questions that I just have about this, because that's pretty deep. And I hope that there's nothing else that you're lying about in the relationship, because that would be my concern. Like, if you came to me and I was your partner and you're like, hey, I strip and I just didn't know how to tell you, I mean, that would just open up a floodgate of me just wondering, like, what else you haven't been honest about. Because if you've been able to keep up with this kind of lie for this long, I'm going to assume I would just automatically assume there are other things that you just haven't been open about, you know, or that you've omitted. So there's some serious concerns around this. I think you should just be ready for the relationship to potentially come to an end, or for the marriage to be on hold, or for him to suggest therapy. I think you just need to get yourself ready for what comes with the territory, and put yourself in his shoes. Like, you know, what if he was stripping? You know what I'm saying? Like, how would you feel if he came to you after 5 years and said, hey, baby, I've been at the club, you know, for the last 5 years. I don't really work in construction or whatever. I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, you got to put yourself in his shoes. And I think you should definitely go ahead and talk to him. So a little bit about my situation that I experienced. I was with somebody who, when I first met her, before we started dating, I knew she stripped. And then by the time we met and started dating, she had stopped stripping. She had a day job. And, you know, she wanted to focus on being like a mom, and she wanted to focus on her career. That's what she led me to believe, right? And so one day we were at her sister's house, and her sister's girlfriend asked me, why didn't I come to the party 2 weeks before? They had a party at their house. Like, Rhonda, why you didn't come to the party? And some of y'all may have heard the story, but a lot of y'all probably haven't. So I was like, oh, I didn't come to the party because I had something else going on. And she was like, oh, dang, you know, let's call her Dina. She was like, man, Dina was killing it. Like, she was dancing. Like, she was, you know, she still got it. And I was like, okay. When she said dancing, I just thought like dancing like everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's, you know, dancing. It's a party going on. Everybody on the dance floor. She was like, nah, she was stripping. And I'm like, wait, what? Dina was stripping. She was like, yeah, like, you didn't know that? And I was just like, what? So I had to confront her, you know, about stripping. And, you know, she told me like, yes, I have my day job, Rhonda. Because for me, I was like, wait, I thought you had a day job. And she was like, no, I do. And, you know, because at this point I thought she was like, I used to call her at her job and she would call me from her job. And I'm like, was that real? Like, what? You know, she was like, no, I have my job. But, you know, also she was living with her grandmother at the time. So, you know, and I would talk to her every night on the phone, but she would like call me in between like her sets, in between when she wasn't dancing, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like weird or strange, and it was never loud music. I never assumed anything. And she wanted to continue stripping. And I'm like, I don't care about you stripping. Like, I knew that you stripped when I first met you years ago. You know, I just thought you had stopped by the time we, you know, kind of reconnected. And if that's what you want to do, fine, but be open and say that to me, you know, because if I have a problem with it, I want to be able to say I have a problem with it. And this is why I think the relationship won't work, because you strip and I have a problem with it. You know what I mean? Like, let me know, put everything on the table for me. That's all I'm saying. I think everybody deserves that, right? So I have experience with, you know, I've dated a stripper and how it was and what that life is like, you know? So that's why I was asking, like, for this situation with Regina, like, where do you put all your stuff? If you're talking about you got these custom costumes and shit, I'm like, damn, where you put all that stuff at? And maybe you got a storage unit or something. I don't know. But that's a lot to keep up with for sure. Like, all the shoes and the smell goods and the this and that. Like, it's so much stuff that goes into being a dancer. So anyway, my good people, please chime in. Let Regina know your 2 cents. What do you think she should do? Should she continue holding on to this story? You know what I'm saying? She's been able to, you know, navigate it and get away with it for 5 years. And should she go, you know, start her marriage off like this, or should she come clean? Should she come clean? Please give her some advice. Please meet me in the comments about the situation, all right? So if you have something that you want me to talk about here on the channel, it's rhondasrealtalk@gmail.com, or you can also send me a DM on Instagram at rhondasrealtalk. All right, so I appreciate y'all watching. Make the best of the day. Be good to yourself, y'all. Peace.
I be beaming, I be booming down that block. Everywhere you go, you know they know I'm hot.